I was introduced to sports by Space Jam. So Space Jam came out, I think, when I was like 1 year old. I watched it as soon as I was of age and could really understand what was going on. I fell in love with not only basketball there, but music as well, because the soundtrack was fire. I watched that movie and I was like, I want to do that. My parents got me a little type hoop, and it was up from there, literally. I was obviously fortunate enough to be on the team, but I knew that, hey, there's some people out here that are better than me, and you know that kind of took its toll on me from a young age. When you become older, you're able to take a step back and realize everybody's goals aren't the same necessarily, and so the goals that I was trying to reach were maybe not the goals that they were trying to reach. They wanted to go to the WNBA. I really didn't want to ever. Separating those goals and from my peers and looking around me, that was kind of tough for me early, and that led to a lot of anxiety probably. Oof. I mean, it's hard to say it wasn't like a little bit of my identity. Everywhere I went, it was like Bre that plays basketball, Bre that's on the basketball team, Bre that's the basketball player. And not that I didn't like it or that I wasn't proud of it, it just kind of became attached to who I am. Like I said, it's my name and then what I did, which is play basketball. And it kind of didn't allow me to get away from that until I stopped playing, really, because I really wanted to be known for other things. And I was one of those people who, like, believe it or not, I couldn't wait for basketball to be over. Like, I couldn't wait for the next phase of my life, the next chapter, whatever, to start. Because like I said, I had been Bre who plays basketball for 21 years up to that point. I was just ready to be somebody else, ready to do some other things. Once the last buzzer sounded, I was grateful for the experience, but definitely ready to get to the next chapter of my life. I feel like I've always been pretty well-rounded. I just couldn't wait to dedicate more time to those other areas. I feel like Bre, the athlete, got pretty much like 80% of my time growing up, because the other 20% was probably in school. I did a lot of things growing up, so I played different sports. I played softball for a little bit. I wanted to play track for a little bit, but my injuries and things like that. But I played different instruments. I wrote. I liked poetry, so I knew there was a bunch of other things I could do if I was given the time. And so basketball just took so much of that dedication of my time then. And so I was like, whenever I can eliminate that or whenever I'm done with that phase of my life, I'll definitely be able to see what other areas I can tap into. I didn't really know what they would be, but like I said, since when I started watching Space Jam, I knew I wanted to be involved with sports somehow and music somehow. So I always kind of just fell back into following those two things. I can fully embrace moving forward and who I am now and look back on those times like, wow, that helped me get to where I am now. And so I'm appreciative for the experience. One of the things I wanted to dedicate my time to was the student athletes who might have been like me and maybe they did want to go pro, or maybe they had aspirations to continue playing longer than I did, or whatever have you. Some weren't able to keep playing, some lost scholarship opportunities, etc., etc. So I figured, let me take that time to build a business, a foundation of a business that can help them be a well-rounded individual, because I think I took that process more seriously than a lot of my peers, and I was more prepared for when the buzzer sounded and the ball stopped bouncing. I felt like I was really, really prepared for that, and so I wanted to take the time to make sure the other student athletes were at least thinking about it or had it in the back of their mind, because whether you like it or not, the ball stops bouncing for everybody at some point. I'm Bre Singleton, and this is my purpose to be heard.